believe you are and what do you believe you can have? And anything that goes against those things, you don't accept it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. We're your Manifestation Sisters. I'm Leah.
I'm Tia.
And if you're new here, we help you to embody the identity that makes life upgrades inevitable by becoming the wealthy woman at the center of it all. In this week's episode, we're talking all about permission slips. And what this can sometimes look like is when we have a desire for something, we see with some people, and I know I've experienced this myself, is I'm not fully giving myself permission to have what I want. Whether it's due to past conditioning or not really allowing myself to have it. It doesn't come really down to me not believing I can have it, because I do believe there's infinite possibilities. It's definitely a possibility for me to have what I want, but sometimes if I want something, it's like I don't fully allow myself to have it. And we've seen it with clients and things like that. But when you let yourself have it, give yourself permission to really want what you want and own it, it really allows you to drop that resistance, because I think a lot of the time we label our manifestations big or small, but they're not really big or small. Just we perceive it that way. Whether we're manifesting love, money, health, whatever it is, we're like, oh, that's so much, that's so big, that's such a big manifestation. But it's just as easy to manifest a coffee. It's just a level of resistance we have to the thing that we want.
Yeah, I agree. I think for myself, it's a shift of when you're placing that level of importance on your manifestation, you're perceiving it as big. Or for me, it was I would waver in actually the decision of 1 week I'd be I'm manifesting this, and then the next I'll be actually, can I manifest this? And then I'll change my mind and I'll have that wavering in the decision. I wasn't fully anchored in and admitting to myself fully what it is that I wanted, because I didn't yet have the belief system to know that was possible for myself. And I think when you fully anchor in and you decide, that's one of the most powerful frequencies, decision, because you're fully admitting to yourself, this is what I want, and this is what I deserve, and this is what I get to have. And you're in that state of coherence of everything's aligned.
And then sometimes as well, we're waiting for someone else to say, what you want. So if you need a permission slip, this is your permission slip. It's we want that validation so much outside of us. And these permission slips, I think, come in many forms, because even with, doing tools or techniques, sometimes we're coming from a standpoint of I'm doing this to give myself permission to have what I want, even though they're helping us get into the state of being the version of us that has what we want. So we're doing all the things to build that belief in order to help us to give ourselves permission to have what we want. And really, your desires, they're your birthright. And I think sometimes we think, oh, do I really get to have it? Does it really get to be this good? When we've had beliefs of waiting for the other shoe to drop, or thinking, oh, I never get what I want, or things don't work out right. Some of these generalized beliefs can come into play. But no, you get to have what you want, and you get to give yourself the permission to receive it, to allow yourself to bask in the feelings of having.
Yeah, and I think something you said at the beginning, or maybe even before we got on the camera, was a lot of people are waiting for that external permission slip, whether that's for a spouse, whether that's through a friend, a partner, or your mum, your dad, whatever, people around you, or just society in general. We're kind of waiting for the external validation and reflection to reflect back what we know to be true.
Yeah.
So whether you have a desire for something, whether you want to step out your comfort zone, whether you want to go in a different direction, we'll either consolidate in the people around us, we'll look for the external validation, we'll want the numbers, the metrics, the likes to prove to us what we're searching for externally or what we want internally. When really that permission slip is about giving yourself the permission that you were looking for externally. We always say that's been so about. So when you start operating from that identity of, instead of I need this person, I need the 3D reality, I need my job, my workplace, my business, social media to validate me being good enough, to validate me taking this leap, to validate me moving forward, to validate that I'm doing it right. And you start actually trusting yourself and claiming that identity in yourself and telling yourself the narratives, basking those feelings of course I'm doing it right.
Exactly, this is working. Everything I do is enough.
You start to build that self-trust with yourself.
And it's knowing yourself, I think, with manifestation, knowing yourself to be the source, knowing yourself to whatever you decide yourself to be, that decision, that acceptance of I am this, I am now this version that I'm claiming myself to be. That is permission enough. So it's who do you say I am? Who do you believe you are? What do you believe you can have? And if you're unclear of those things, get clear. Who do you believe you are, and what do you believe you can have? And anything goes against those things, you don't accept it. You decide a new decision, you claim a new identity for yourself, and you stand firm in that decision, and that's enough permission for you to have what you want because you've decided so.
What you said are great questions. I think when people hear questions, naturally it makes you overthink and think it has to be a complicated process, or you need to ask yourself and dive deeper, but usually it's the first thing that comes into your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, when I was shifting into my expanded baseline with money, and I teetered on the edge of that for years, of like fully admitting to myself that I wanted money, because
you would aim lower.
Yeah, I would aim lower than I actually wanted, and be like, is it possible for me to actually have it? Because I wasn't giving myself permission to. I'd have conversations with other people, being like, can we aim that high? Because it's like you're not fully wanting to go all in and give yourself the permission. But once you actually ask yourself why, usually the thought that comes in is because there's not enough. That was my belief. Or who are you to really have that much money? Like,
who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? And it's like these little things that your subconscious, your identity, your reality is constantly giving you clues to where you are subconsciously anchored into when it comes to you not giving yourself permission to go to that next level and step into what it is that you truly want. Yeah. So once you have the understanding to make that time for yourself to explore what it is that you want, why are you not letting yourself go there, what is the story you're telling about it, then it gives you the power of the awareness to shift it and change and integrate, like we spoke about in our previous video, of that new normal for yourself and what you're making now your new normal.
Yeah, and knowing that if you desire it, you get to have it. And the level of importance that we put on things is just, again, the stories and the narratives that we put on it. But once you decide something new for yourself, reality will recalibrate to start to reflect that new. And it becomes your new normal baseline. And sometimes we make it so complicated when it's not really that complicated. It's just us giving ourselves permission. Like if you didn't get it from the video, so how many times can you say permission? But it's just bringing the point home, isn't it? It's just really letting yourself just have what you want. I think it's as simple as that. And I think as well, like, just one more thing, it's like, what do you believe is possible for you? And do you believe your manifestation is a possibility? And that's one of the key things to also work on.
Because if not, why not?
Yeah, because if not, why not? So what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe you can have? And what do you believe is possible? And if you don't believe it, why not? They're the questions to really draw back into.
They're great questions. So if you've made it to the end of the episode, thank you very much, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, because it helps us grow this amazing community that we're building. If you want to work with myself or Leah, join our community, get in our space, join the world, then links all in the description box below, and we'll see you in the next episode.